Hello and welcome to the 102nd episode of Raw and Score, the trivia night you can play without spending $15 on a pint of beer. Feel free to send me the $15 you're saving. I am the Quizzard, and I was at the pub last night and I was asked for a photo by a Raw and Score fan. That's the first time that's ever happened to me, and I'm feeling like Tom Cruise, only more famous. Thanks to Jasmine for making me feel famous, and happy 16th birthday. For everyone else, I will now be charging a flat rate of $25 per fan photo, and for an extra $5, I will smile. I do ask that you all respect my privacy though. I'm just a normal person like all of you, just incredibly, incredibly famous. We are scoring out of 35 points with 20 single-point questions in the question round, a stupidly, unbelievably hard question worth 5 points, a bonus round worth 5 points, and a game that we play throughout the question round, which is worth 5 points as well. This week, the game we're playing throughout the question round is Acrostic Answers. In this game, some of the first letters of some sequential answers in the question round are going to spell out a word or a phrase to do with a clue that I give you. For example, if the clue was animals and the first answer was dodecahedron, the next answer was octopus, and the next answer was grey, D-O-G spells dog. Now, it might not necessarily be the first 3 questions or the first 4 questions, it might be somewhere in the middle. The words the, an, or a do not count in this round, so if the answer was the moon, you would get the letter M, not the letter T. If you can pick up on the word that some of these answers spell out, you get 5 points. The clue this week is it is a type of food. So, remember to listen out for some sequential answers and their first letters to spell out the name of a food in the question round, which is starting now. Question 1. Name the 5 core family members in the show The Simpsons. Bart, Lisa, Maggie, Homer, and Marge. Question 2. Which 2 planets are separated by the asteroid belt? That is Mars and Jupiter. Hey, what does an astronaut wear to hold up his pants? Nothing, because there's no gravity in space to pull his pants down. Question 3. Which brass musical instrument uses a slide to change notes rather than valves? A trombone. It's basically a giant slide whistle if you think about it. Question 4. In which continent would you be most likely to find wild meerkats? Africa. I had one as a child. Oh wait, that wasn't a meerkat. It was a meerkat. Ooh, that's good. Question 5. Which US state has the longest coastline? Alaska. Question 6. What type of meat is the most consumed worldwide? Pork, with 36% of all meat eaten worldwide being pork. That would have been like my 5th guess, I think. Question 7. If you see the letter P written on a piece of music, what would it generally stand for? It would stand for piano, which means quiet. Question 8. Who was Kim Kardashian seen with at the 60th Super Bowl, sparking rumours of dating? Lewis Hamilton. I'm so disappointed in Lewis. You can do better, Lewis. I know you listen to this podcast. Question 9. What is the name of the Marvel character Doctor Strange's home planet? Earth. I hope you all know that I'm very proud of the way I phrased that question. Question 10. What type of bird lays the largest eggs? The ostrich. Question 11. Which of the possible answers on the original Magic 8 Ball is the shortest? Short meaning using the smallest amount of letters. The answer is yes. That's either the best or stupidest question I've ever written, and I'm not sure which. Question 12. Which Shrek character is played by Eddie Murphy? Donkey! Question 13. Who sung the 2006 hit Don't Feel Like Dancin'? The Scissor Sisters. Did you know that the Scissor Sisters were named after, scissoring? I always thought they just really liked scissors. Question 14. Which former Rick and Morty voice actor was dropped from many shows and projects in 2023 due to felony domestic violence charges? Justin Roiland. The charges were later dropped, and I haven't heard his voice in literally anything since. Question 15. Manchego, Pokerino, and Camembert are all types of what? Cheese. Cheese is weird when you think about it. Like, we get breast milk from a cow and add germs to it and leave it for ages, and somehow it becomes the most delicious thing in the world. How did we even work that out? Question 16. Uniqlo is a quickly growing clothing store in many countries around the world. Spell Uniqlo. It is Uniqlo. Question 17. What was the first country invaded by Germany in World War II? That was Poland. Question 18. What is the traditional Turkish pastry made of thin layers of dough filled with nuts and honey? Baklava, and there is nothing better than baklava. I always forget how good it is. Question 19. Who won the famous Floyd Mayweather Jr. vs Manny Pacquiao fight in 2015? That was won by Floyd Mayweather Jr. by unanimous decision, and was probably the most frustrating boxing match I've ever seen. I've only seen 5, but it was still very frustrating. Question 20. What does it mean if someone is frugal? F-R-U-G-A-L, frugal. It means they are careful with money or resources, or economical. It's basically a nice way to say someone's stingy. Okay, that's 20 questions done, but did you remember we were playing acrostic answers? I asked you to listen out for some sequential answers and their first letters to spell out the name of a food. Lock in what you think the answer is now. So, the answers that spelled out the word were Alaska, pork, piano, Lewis Hamilton, and Earth, and that all spells apple. Give yourself 5 points if you picked up on that one. Yeah, really straining my creative juices using the word apple there, hey? Coming up in a moment, we have the stupidly hard trivia question and the bonus round of the episode. This week, the bonus round is this or that. See you in a moment for that. We're back, and it's time for the question that comes to me each week when I perform a blood ritual in a graveyard. The really hard trivia question. Okay, I've got an unbelievably hard question for you. You get 5 points if you can get this one right. I'm going to preface this with the fact that I think this is one of the hardest hard questions I've ever had. But as soon as I heard the answer, I was like, oh, of course. So good luck. Hopefully we all remember the 90s cartoon Arthur, the Aardvark. If you don't, you might as well skip the next 30 seconds. What is Arthur's full name? So Arthur the Aardvark, what is his full name, including any middle names? Just while we're on this, what a good show. DW, the little troublemaker. So wholesome. I wonder if it's still running. Surely not. Okay, lock in your answer. Arthur's full name is Arthur Timothy Reed. Yeah, are you like, oh, of course as well? I'm sure I've heard his mum yell that at him a million times. Arthur Timothy Reed? Who knows, it might be one of those ones that I think is super hard and it's just because I'm terrible at names. Give yourself 5 points if you knew that Arthur Timothy Reed was Arthur's full name. And with the hard question over, that means it's time for the bonus round of the episode. This week, the bonus round is this or that. In this game, I'm going to give you 2 categories and 10 things that fit into one of the 2 categories. Your only job is to guess which of the 2 categories it fits in. You get half a point for every one you get right. The categories this week are racehorse or heavy metal band. So I'm going to rattle through 10 things and you need to tell me whether it's the name of a racehorse or a heavy metal band. Remember, you get half a point for each one, and the easiest way to do this is to just score out of 10 and halve it at the end to add to your score. Also, I'm not going to give you too much time to answer, maybe 3 or 4 seconds, because I want this to be gut instinct. Okay, racehorse or heavy metal band, starting now. Number 1 is Ghost Zapper. Ghost Zapper. Ghost Zapper is a racehorse that won the Breeders' Cup in 2004. Number 2, Iron Saviour. Iron Saviour. Iron Saviour is a German power metal band. Number 3, Crystal Viper. Crystal Viper. Crystal Viper is a Polish heavy metal band. Number 4, Hoof-Hearted. Hoof-Hearted. Hoof-Hearted is a racehorse from South Africa. Come on, it's got the word hoof in its name. Also, hoof-hearted sounds like who farted if you say it in an American accent. Number 5, Electric Callboy. Electric Callboy. Electric Callboy are a metal band. They're actually like metalcore crossed with Europop, and they're so much fun, you should listen to them. Number 6, Paleface Swiss. Paleface Swiss. Paleface Swiss are a metal band, and another recommendation, these guys are so much fun. I can totally see them being some horse with a white face as well though. Number 7, Night Parade. Night Parade. Night Parade is a racehorse. Number 8, Real Steel. Real Steel. Real Steel is a racehorse from Japan. Number 9, Thunder Gulch. Thunder Gulch. Thunder Gulch is another racehorse, but that has to be the most metal horse ever. I might name my firstborn Thunder Gulch. Final one, number 10, Nightwish. Nightwish. Nightwish is a Finnish symphonic metal band. Remember, they're worth half a point each, so halve it if you are counting out of 10, and add that to your total score, and that's what you got this round. I like writing the this or that ones. I thought that one was going to be hard. I thought it was going to be really difficult to find some horsey sounding metal bands and some metal sounding horses, but it was actually so easy. I've got a backlog of about 100 more if we want them. Turns out horse racing is pretty metal, and metal bands are pretty horsey. Remember, if you find me on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you can contact me and send me your name and score, I'll give you a shout out at the end of a show. Easiest way to do it, just comment on one of my posts. I post every episode. This week I've heard from the Tarrawood Propagators, who scored 21 points. Their rivals were only 0.5 away from them. They won with a 21.5. Graphics department are the champions for the week. Rick and Nadia scored a 9.5, which might be a personal worst for them. Sorry guys, I know it was hard last week. Laura scored a 14.5. Pat scored a 67. Now, I'm no Einstein, but I have a feeling that was on the 100th episode. Emma and Amy went on a road trip and played about 1 million rounds. Here are their scores. Emma scored a 19, then Amy scored an 18. Emma scored a 16, then Amy scored a 14. Emma 18, Amy 15. Emma 24, Amy 20. Emma 12, Amy 18. Emma 13, Amy 15, Emma 12, Amy 15, Emma 19, Amy 18, Emma 17, Amy 21, Emma 11, Amy 11, ooh, tie, and Emma 14, Amy 15. Emma and Amy are far too similar of names for me to do that easily. That was a challenge. Are you wondering who won out of Emma and Amy for the road trip? Well, prepare to be disappointed because it was a tie. I suppose I could add up the total scores and see who got the highest total, but am I going to do that? I'm not. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. I'll see you next week with another episode of Raw and Score Trivia. Bye-bye.